along to the timeline. So next one coming up, I believe, is the California has a law that allows teacher and school government to involve with gender identity transition, and that the parents gonna be the one who's gonna be blindsided or the last to know. I think that to me, I really think that's wrong. So for there are many different levels, and personally, first of all, I feel gender transitioning, or even coming out sexuality orientation, this is all personal. The government, the teacher, the school should not get involved. If anything, the government should be last, right? Right. So I think this is a distraction. Okay, this is a distraction coming from Gavin Newsom, and I believe he wants attention, and they already know what kind of card they're playing. This is right before Biden resign, right? So this is like, I'm knocking on the door. Make sure you guys know what. Hear me, you know what I mean? So I feel it's a distraction, and I feel it's LGBTQ community got used as a political weapon for this one. And that triggered a lot of reaction, including Elon Musk, because Elon Musk now daughter is a trans person, and he said his son is dead to me. That's why he said today, actually, on Twitter, X. And actually, that's somehow true, because for any transgender person, they know if they really fully transition, whoever they are previously, it's pretty much, done. Done. I won't say dead. I'll say done. We move on, right? Move forward. So, anyways, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Government control, government overreach, I call it.
My thoughts on the government overreach. My thoughts on this thing with Gavin Newsom is, let me focus on this right quick. My thoughts on this is a giant step totally in the wrong direction. I get that the DNC loves to see themselves, especially nowadays, they love to see themselves as the ally to the little guy.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to brass tacks and, doing something, they do too much.
Yeah.
There's a saying, you're doing too much. They're doing way too much, because now what a lot of people don't understand is they did not, what California's done has not taken a single positive step forward to help the LGBTQ community at all. In fact, if anything, it's muddied the waters more, and it's made worse. It's going to generate so many more problems, like a wildfire, over the next 5 to 10 years, because now you've made parents the villain. You've made the parents the villain. They can't say nothing to their children about gender. So if your kid goes to school, we already know children are easily influenced by everything they see on TV, the internet, at school, with their friends, in magazines, on the radio, in songs, in movies. It's already started. I mean, it started back when California started having psychologists,
right?
Promote this with patients who were confused, and instead of following the prescribed model to determine, to help this person determine if they are gender dysphoric or not.
Right.
We've just jumped in the boat of, there's a bigger boat over there, and it says, just believe everybody.
Yeah.
Or tell them, or, just pat them on the back and tell them it's all good. And now you got parents going out of their way to convince their children that they're gender dysphoric. And I mean, how many documentaries does PBS have to do for you to see people in their 20s and 30s just crying because they went down this path believing they were gender dysphoric, come to find out later, because it's all mental and emotional. It takes time to work through these things, to figure out the truth, especially when you don't know and don't have experience to judge things against. It takes time it takes time to get there.
Yeah.
You get further down the line. Now all of a sudden, the young lady Janet is like, shit, I really was James.
Well,
and James is like, well, shit, I really was Janet. Now they
or should I say, well, maybe Michelle is Michael. Michael is Michelle.
Yeah. Well, somebody else said something to me a couple of days ago, and I was like, I don't get it, because it sounded like they were trying to tell me a joke. But I didn't get. But either way it goes, it's this. Even with I'm not a doctor. Okay, let me preface that first. I'm not a doctor. I don't study psychology. I have a few friends that are gay, and I've met and talked with many lesbians, and we had a few that were friends that were lesbian and trans, and I don't really know about the other references because I don't really ask. Because at the same time, I'm like, yeah, you cool with me, I'm cool with you. I don't care.
Yeah.
You're not paying my bills, so really,
True. Yes.
I don't really care.
Exactly.
But I've met people I've talked to other people that talk about so and so who thought he was gay, but he's really not. Or they thought they were lesbian, but they really weren't. Or they thought they were straight, but they weren't, and they weren't sure. I mean, this is not a cut and dry black and white issue. It's not a switch. If anything, it's more one of those rheostats where you got to turn in the knob or something. But it's not a cut and dry issue, and it affects people in so many different ways. And this law is gonna, in my opinion, really, really, really damage a lot of families.
Right.
I want to say unintentionally, but part of me, to be honest, a part of me actually believes that they knew exactly what they were doing when they pushed this law through. And they knew exactly what it was going to do to the population.
Yeah. And to me, just to close out this topic is California has a lot more issues than this, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, this is not even an issue to begin with.
I know. You ain't never like, this is such a non-issue. I'm like, why are we
making
focused on this? This is such a non-issue.
Yeah, and we have like what? Homeless issue, that's the major one. Economy.
The homeless issue is so bad, you can't, it's very difficult now to go anywhere in California and not see a tent popped up on a corner.
I see a lot in the morning.
I see it here in Pasadena.
Everywhere. In the morning, I wake up early in the morning. I see people on the sidewalk. They wake up too. They like clean themselves up and dress. Oh my God!
You want to know what's messed up? The city still pushes those people around. Eventually, somebody from the city comes by and pushes them out of there. They got to go somewhere else because we got to do maintenance.
Nowhere
we got to clean. We got to do this. We got to do that. The only difference is, now business owners can't be like, hey, get the fuck out from in front of my business.
Yeah, a lot of business already closed and we have very high crime. That's the issue. This is the issue, not gender identity. It was never an issue.
The whole crime issue that really pisses me off. With all the people that got behind that really pisses me off.
And then
they made some decisions that I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
There's a million ways you could have addressed that would have cost less.
And on top of that, if you talk about costing less, our California gas price is the highest in the nation. How about that? Yeah. See? And then they want to raise, and then they raised the people I'm not putting anybody down, okay? But they raised the minimum wage for the fast food. At the same time, they raised everybody's hamburger price.
Mm-hmm.
That's just reality. And this is the issue.
Here's the trade-off with that. The only fast food joints they hurt were the small chains and the mom and pops ones. Those are the ones that really hurt because they live month to month.
Yes.
The big chains, which is the ones they were trying to affect, like McDonald's and Burger King, they ain't hurting them because the vast majority of them are franchises. At the end of the day, that franchise is still going to send all the money it's supposed to back to headquarters. All they did was make it less money that the franchisee owner gets to take home in their pocket.
Yeah. Actually, I believe in the entire America, small business owners percentage is higher than the, corporation or franchising.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
that's why they did that, because
they want to kill the small business owners.
No, they put the bill for paying that stuff out on the small business owners, because they're going to figure out, the small business owners will figure out how to navigate that, how to bring stuff up to speed. And the big franchises, all they got to do is follow the train. All the successful small businesses that make it work, the big companies will be like, okay, now, how are they making that work? All right, 10 years, we'll follow that train. Be business as usual. They ain't got to worry about it.
See, I just don't don't understand what's wrong with Gavin Newsom. I think he has some control issue, because remember back in just not too long ago, right before COVID, he put out a mandate for we cannot use plastic straw anymore. Remember that? We're using paper straw. And then funny thing is,
but you got to remember, Gavin Newsom is pandering.
Listen to me first. I know, but if you go to Starbucks or boba place, the cup they use, which is gigantic, it's plastic. Mm-hmm. You see? So I don't know that's why I say he has some sort of, I don't know what's wrong in his mind, to be honest with you. He has no sense of what's important and what's not.